Alright, so we're in practice range, and I'm just going to be talking about Hulk as a character and his uniqueness compared to other tanks, and I'm also going to show off his abilities and how to use them. So basically, Hulk has this ability where he can charge up his jump. It's called his Incredible Leap, and basically this does between 19 and 25 meters when it's fully charged up. So it's very effective in making space and approaching like your opponents and closing the distance, and also getting out. So moving on to his primary attack, it's just going to be punch. His punch is very basic, does 40 damage a second, which is quite good in my opinion, but I think it should be a little bit higher. And so moving on to his abilities, he's got his L1 or his E on keyboard, which is going to be his exile. And basically what this does, this stuns them out of the fight for 2 seconds, and basically once they're stunned, they can't be healed and they can't be damaged by other characters aside from Hulk. But when Hulk does damage them in the exile, it does remove them out of the exile. Moving on to the second ability, which is going to be his clap, and this does 70 damage a second, and this is at any range, and this is actually very effective just for like chipping, poking the backline, or just going in, doing some punches, doing some combos, clapping, getting out. So moving on to his third ability, which is his bubble, kind of works like Magneto's bubble in the way that you can bubble yourself and your team around you, and it also has 200 health. So you bubble yourself, you know, pretty standard. But in the new update, you pair your clap after your bubbles on cooldown, and it actually removes the cooldown seconds, only by 1 though, but it is very effective. Alright, so now we're just going to be talking about Hulk and flyers, and if you get in a game and you see flyers, you should be like really happy about this matchup, because Hulk is probably one of the best counters to flyers, just because like what he can do to them. So we're going to start out with what his abilities do to them, and really it's only his exile that actually do a lot of annoying stuff to the flyers. So basically his exile actually does knock them out of the sky, so that brings them down to the floor so they're not, you know, above you being annoying. So we're also going to talk about his jump with flyers. So basically his jump, if you jump into them, you can actually knock them out of the sky. So what you want to do is you just want to position yourself, you know, have your arrow like in like the middle or on their body, and you just want to jump into them, and this, you know, knocks them out of the sky. It's very, very effective. You can also pair this with punching, obviously, so to do damage. So you jump into them and you punch, and you know, you do damage to them, and you can actually kill them if they're not being healed. So what you can also do with this, you can combo. To like kill them quicker, you know, you can jump into them, and then when they're on the floor, you can pair your clap with it just for a quicker kill and a quicker takedown. So a lot of people don't know this, that they think you can only take them out by jumping in front of them. What you can actually do, and this doesn't work with flyers, this works with anybody, if you're underneath them, you can actually jump up into them and take them down that way. And then for the third takedown, which isn't really used that much, you might actually do this on accident, but you can also be above them and land directly on top of them again to take them down, which in my opinion isn't the most effective. The most effective would be, you know, just jumping straight into them. Alright, so we come into practice range again, and we're going to be testing this on Groot just to show you an easy like person to start on. So you want to charge your jump, you want to juggle them, and you want to jump into them, and you can also pair your clap at the end for more damage. You want to jump into them and then pair your clap just for insane burst damage. So basically this combo obviously will kill squishies very quickly. I'm just using Groot as an example just for everyone to practice on, because he's a big target and it should be quite easy to learn off the rip. So go into your ult, you want to have your jump already charged so you can jump into them, and you want to knock them up. You can knock them up twice if you want, or you can just knock them up once, but hitboxes are really weird this season. See, like there, hitboxes are weird, so you might want to knock them up twice. So it's all about camera angles and positioning. So knock them up twice, jump into them. You can pair your clap at the end, obviously. Knock them up twice, jump into them. So this just does an insane amount of damage, and it's probably the most well-known, most used combo. Alright, so I'm just going to again show you guys his ult, but against squishies. Before I do, I just want to talk about how you should be using your ult, and basically how you should always be targeting the weaker characters, considering how much damage you do. So your punch to 70 damage per second, your clap 125, pair that together, you're already nearly killing a support if they're not being healed. So for my advice, you should always use your ult, in the most effective way possible, and that would be going for the likes of squishies. Again, if you want to go for tanks, you want to show off your juggling skills, you can go ahead by all means, but just for like effectiveness and to get picks, you should always be going for the backline immediately in your ult. So again, I'm just going to show you here how quickly you can actually kill squishies in your ult. So if you want to start off with a clap, you can, just for early damage, and then you can just juggle and kill them really fast. Like, it is insane how fast you can kill squishies in your ult, and this is why I recommend always going for, you know, the weaker characters and never going for the tanks or stuff like that. So alright, so here I'm just going to be talking about your counters. To start off, Wolverine isn't really a counter, he's more just a nuisance for you. But you can counter him pretty easily. So basically how Wolverine works, he does percentage damage, and Hulk being a tank, 750 HP, he's going to do a lot of damage to me. So he can basically grab me, you know, do a lot of damage, and basically kill me quite quick. But what you can do if Wolverine does grab you, well, you have your abilities. You know, you have your exile. He grabs you in, you exile, you bubble, you get out of there as fast as you can, which is what is really good with Hulk into Wolverine. He's like, you know, it's a skill matchup between these two characters. So the only problem with Hulk is in the tank aspect is going to be Thing. Thing is really annoying in the fact that he can ground you so much, meaning you can't use your jump. So when you're grounded, you actually cannot jump, and you cannot use your abilities, which is actually really annoying. See, look, I'm grounded, my jump recharges, and I can't actually use it for a certain amount of time. See, look how long that allowed me until I go back into my jump. So in terms of hard counters, and he's also immune to a lot of things, in terms of hard counters, Thing in tank, and Emma, of course, obviously, considering she can just grab you, is probably the two worst matchups for Hulk. Alright, so we're going to talk about Bruce, and basically he's got a, you know, his gun, and it actually charges up his ult charge meter. So other thing, so if this does happen to you, you know, you die in Hulk, you obviously turn it back into Bruce, and you need to quickly get back into Hulk. So his gun is pretty useful for this. Also, he has this I don't know, gamma bomb, and basically what this does is it gives you a lot of ult charge if you throw it on the ground or you throw it at other people, and what it does actually knocks back you and others around you. So you throw it, you know, it gives you your ult charge, it puts them away. And also another quick method, if you can manage to actually do this, is melee. By meleeing, it actually gives you quite a lot of ult charge, and I'm just going to throw all of these percentage on the screen. So here we're just going to be talking about B hopping, and it's actually very complicated to do. It's quite hard. It's all about timing. So I don't think I'll be able to do it, but if you want to check anybody else out who actually knows, I'd recommend Bad GD Player. He knows how to do this quite well. So basically it's just holding your space and using your jump momentum to actually get further than normal. So it's basically like that, but you should be gaining a lot more momentum. So if you struggle to do it in your normal Hulk form, it's quite easy to do in your ult, just to cover space and distance. Let's say someone's over there, you need to quickly get over to them. It's a lot faster to jump and B-hop rather than just jumping or walk over to them. So it's all about timing. It's just all timing based. You charge, and then when you land, you want to be able to press space again, like that. And you just want to basically practice this in practice range, you know, be able to master it, because it's really good for covering a lot of distance. Okay, so for another quick tip with flyers and anybody who's in the air, actually, what you can do is you can actually bring them further back into the backline with like camera angles and stuff. So say you want to like bring them into your team over here, but they're over there, you can actually jump into them in a certain way and actually move yourself through the sky, so you're not stuck in a, you know, straight line. You can bring them over certain ways to just basically carry them if you want. You can just carry them away from their team into your backline. As part of the video, I'm just going to be showing you how to play Hulk in a real game, and basically how Hulk is played. He's a dive tank, and he's just you're gonna play him as if you play Venom. You know, you're going to be consistently in their backline being annoying, on their healers. So here we're on a domination map. I believe this is Hell's Heaven or something like that. And basically I'm just going to show you how you would play Hulk in an in-game situation. So we're going to start off, and you're on point faster than everybody for starters because you're on Hulk with your jump. That you use that to get the point first, so you can like set yourself up to go into their backline. So what you want to do is basically you want to semi-ignore everybody else in their team other than their backline, so their healers. So basically, well, unless obviously you're being dived, also you would obviously turn and help your backline. But if you're in there first, then that's where you're meant to be. First off, we're just we're being annoying. We're just getting some ult charge, and so I see their Luna there. So I'm just jumping back to the team, get some heals, helping my backline, being annoying on the tanks, doing some damage, and I see the 2 healers. So basically, what I'm looking for now is to try and get in their backline. So my Hela there got a really good pick on their healer. So what I'm doing is just trying to keep my team alive, and then I noticed that they have 1 healer, so I'm in there. I'm being annoying, doing damage, trying to get their other healer out of the game. So we forced ult on them. They got it quick, and then we ult too. So I'm again on their healers. I'm kind of ignoring what's going on my side because we're an ult, so I know that they should be safe. They should be, they should be fine. So I'm just being really annoying on their backline, making sure that their team, like, see, because I'm in their backline, we actually win that team fight. Just by being in their backline, we won. Because I'm in their backline, because if I'm on their healers, they obviously cannot heal their team, because I'm in there being annoying. I get another pick, another stagger on the Siren Fist. I don't really know what he's doing, to be honest. He's kind of throwing here, but basically what I'm doing here is waiting for them to come. Like, I'm giving them the space so I can then get into their backline quick. So I actually ult here. I think I do get a pick here on the Moon Knight. Yeah. So that was actually a pretty bad ult for me, to be honest. I wasn't really doing what I was supposed to, but I did get that 1 pick, and I was on their healers. So again, it's just this guy left. We get the pick, and then this, and then the portal, and then basically that's just basically how to play Hulk. I mean, obviously there's more to it than just jumping in, doing a little bit of damage here and there. It's a lot of peeling. He's a very good peel tank for your backline. With the Exile, obviously, let's say Venom's in your backline. You've got your Exile, you stun him, you bubble. You just stabilize your team basically. Like, this character is like not just jump in, jump out, just do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. He's so complex. He's like very hard to learn. So hopefully you guys actually did learn something in this video. I hope you guys take something out of it and actually pick up this character, because he's not very used at the minute. He is not at the best for this season. But if you have any questions, and if you want me to explain something that you're confused about with this character, just leave it in the comments below and I'll try my best to help. So with that, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and that's it.